The hallway was silent, except for the sound of dragging sneakers and cruel laughter. Thud! The loud crash of a body slamming into a down the corridor, and papers fluttered to the floor like confetti. Miss Riley Bennett, the new 26-year-old math teacher, gasped, her breath knocked from her lungs as she stumbled to her knees, bruised and shaken. The tall senior boy snickered. She's just a number nerd, one of them said, kicking her scattered worksheets. What's she gonna do? Calculate us to death. What they didn't know, what no one at Lincoln High knew, was that behind Miss Bennett's quiet eyes, behind her soft cardigans and gentle voice, lay 10 years of disciplined judo training, and a fire that had been smoldering ever since she first stepped into this unforgiving school. And today it would ignite. ACTONE. Meet Miss Ben and Riley Bennett had always believed in second chances. That's why she chose Lincoln High, a rough school known more for suspensions than scholarships, when the district assigned her there. Most of her peers whispered behind her back, she won't last a semester. But Riley wasn't here to quit. Fresh out of graduate school, passionate about teaching, and driven by memories of her own bullied childhood, she wanted to make a difference, especially for the kids who felt invisible, left behind, or crushed by their circumstances. The first few weeks were hard. Her classroom was chaotic, kids threw paper balls when her back was turned, phones buzzed non-stop. Disrespect dripped from every corner like a leaky pipe. Still, Riley came in early every day, brought extra snacks for students who didn't eat lunch, really tried to earn their trust. But then there were them. The pack of 3 seniors who ruled the hallways like they owned the place: Derek, the ringleader with an arrogant smirk, Tyrese, the muscle with a short fuse, and Logan, the mocking shadow who always recorded the drama on his phone. They weren't just troublemakers, they were bullies, pure and simple. And they had decided Riley Bennett was an easy target. THCTT duo. Te sovengi ncidnt. It started with whispers, snide remarks during class, mocking questions about her appearance, then came gooing her desk drawer shut, flipping her car mirror, or scrawling cruel jokes on her whiteboard. She never reacted, never gave them the satisfaction. But it escalated. That day, in the hallway between 4th and 5th period, Riley walked alone, balancing a stack of folders and notebooks. She didn't see them waiting. Derek stepped in front of her. Tyree stood behind. You know, Miss Bennett. Derek sneered. I think you dropped something. He yanked a folder from her hand and tossed it aside. Papers flew. Hey, give that back. She gasped, reaching for it. That's when Tyrese gave her a rough shove. Her back slammed into the lockers. Her knees buckled, and for a split second something inside her snapped. The boys laughed. But when Riley slowly stood up, her face was different. Gone was the timid teacher. What stood in front of them now was someone else. Hey Titari Te Ja. Riley closed her eyes for a moment. She took a breath, deep, grounded, then opened them again. Nuff. Derek chuckled, confused. What'd you say? I said enough. He took a step forward, and that was his first mistake. In one swift motion, fluid, precise, Riley sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, turned her body, and flipped him over her shoulder. Boom! Derek hit the floor with and shocked. Tyrese lunged next. He was bigger, stronger. But size didn't matter. Riley stepped inside his reach, pivoted, and using his own weight against him, swept him to the ground. He landed with a grunt, stunned. Logan's phone slipped from his hand. His face turned pale. You know martial arts. She picked up the phone, pressed delete on the recording, and calmly handed it back. I hold a 2nd-degree black belt in judo, she said. No go. Before I call security. The boys scrambled to their feet and ran. The hallway, once filled with laughter, now echoed with silence and awe. TFL word spread like wildfire. By the next morning, the entire school was buzzing. Did you hear about Miss Bennett? She took down Derek and Tyrese, literally flicked them. She's a judo master. Riley walked through the hallways, no longer invisible. Students looked at her with newfound respect, even admiration. Some, like shy sophomore Maya, even stayed after class just to talk. You're really strong, Miss B, she whispered one day. I wish I could be like you. Riley smiled. Strength isn't about fighting, Maya. It's about knowing when to stand your ground. As for the bullies, they were suspended for a week. But when they returned, something had changed. Derek, bruised ego and all, avoided Riley entirely. Tyrese lowered his eyes whenever he passed her. Logan stopped recording people altogether. The school's tone shifted. A few weeks later, the principal approached her. I heard what happened, he said. We don't condone violence, but thank you for standing up. Sometimes a lesson needs more than numbers. High ACT. Fuel circe 11 months passed. Riley's classroom transformed. Discipline improved. Student even came early just to ask for help. And Maya. She joined the local judo dojo, Riley's old one. On the last day before winter break, the class surprised her with a card. Inside were notes like, thanks for not giving up on us. You're the realest teacher we've had. Sorry for how we treated you at the start. You make math feel like magic. Riley held back tears. She looked out over her classroom, the same room that had once felt like a battlefield. Now it was a sanctuary, not because she had fought back, but because she had never let cruelty win. Hasiosa G. Messi. In a world where silence often masks suffering, where the strong prey on the kind, and where good people are told to stay smawed up. Not with fists but with courage, with skill, and with an unshakable belief that you don't need to raise your voice to raise your worth. Miss Riley Bennett reminded us all, sometimes, the quietest ones carry the loudest power. And if you've ever been shoved into lockers, literally or emotionally, remember this: your strength is real, your worth is untouchable. And your story isn't over. He&D, BLCK. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this if you believe kindness is strength, and strength can be quiet too.